My Discord just went off. What is up, Legendary fan? Kimberly Galizio here, and welcome to the world of horses, where we talk about and explore all things horse related, including Breyer, Bella Sara, Star Stable, and more. And today is a special day that I wanted to share with you guys. Guess what came in the mail last night? This envelope. And inside this envelope is a card from Bella Sara that I'm very excited to have gotten my hands on, because as of right now, especially in the US, it is very rare. So we're gonna open this together. That is really sticky. Oh! Whoops! Open sesame! Oh my god. It's actually in a sleeve. Boom. Look at that! This is Angel from the very first ever card series for Bella Sara, Danish Silver, or Bella Silver. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know how I got my hands on this, because this was the last one left that the seller got, and it wasn't even $10. I have a special place in my binder for it. I'm gonna put her right there. I know it's not the cleanest, but these card sleeves are pretty old. Perfect. And I happened to bring these over for no reason. It's under my desk now. Now that that's put away and the scissors are under my desk, I thought today we would celebrate by starting a new series about the Bella Sara characters, where we would take what we know about them and try to explore what their stories are. And who better to start this series off with than Angel? So let's start with the facts. So as you can see in this picture here, which is the card that I just showed you, Angel first makes an appearance in Bella Silver, or Danish Silver, and her quote reads, "Angel is coming. Make space and let heaven help you." And this was her first design, pretty much. A white-gray Pegasus with huge white wings and looking like a kind of slender build, right? With not really a lot of muscle and long, thin legs. My best guess as for what breed she is, I don't really have a lot to go off of, but with her long legs, my best guess would be some kind of warm blood. You guys can leave a comment down below if you have any other guesses, but as of right now, we're just gonna say that she's a warm blood of some kind. Maybe Dutch, I don't know. However, this wasn't the only time that we were going to be able to see her. This specific picture actually reappeared in later series, such as first series and second series. And if you guys are confused, I'm sure you would be, I was when I first was looking through this. First series is not the first series in Bella Sara for cards. Danish or Bella Silver was. First series is the first series of cards that was released internationally, such as North America. So, I know, confusing. But nonetheless, she made a reappearance in first series and second series just like this. And after that, after the old series, we never really saw her again. And this was during the time where they were trying to make new characters, as well as starting to create more stories, where I would say the first time that they made stories was the card series Baby Bella, where they paired together horses that were already released and not only created new adult characters as caretakers, but created new foals when they brought these characters together as married couples. So it kind of started to create stories, right? It built families, and there's always a story behind that, but we still didn't really see from Angel that much anymore. That was until the stories became kind of the main focus of Bella Sara, where they created Emma Roland and her quest to find the lost herds. And those herds being Herd Sunflower, Herd Moonfairy, and Herd Starlight. When we get to the Starlight series, a lot of characters make an appearance. There's story cards of Emma finding Herd Starlight and bringing them out of hiding, as well as reappearing characters such as the legendary horses, this time as constellations, and brand new characters that kind of combined with already existing characters to build and create Herd Starlight. And who better to be a member of Herd Starlight than Angel? And this was her design in the Starlight series. Very different and a little more of an upgrade, I gotta say, because they added a lot more color to her as well as more defined features, right? No longer is she a white-gray Pegasus with not much color. She is a teal-colored Pegasus with rainbow wings that slightly glow. As for how that appearance could become this, I'll get to what I can speculate about that in a second. After that, the stories continue as Emma goes on more journeys through summer camp and the spring carnival. And one of the last card series that was released was the Winter Festival. And once again, Angel makes a reappearance, but a little bit different because she got a lot more detailed than her appearance in Herd Starlight. She has way more defining features, a more specific wing shape, long thin legs still, but a lot more muscle, and a long thin face. This is the last design of Angel because soon after this, Sara stopped releasing cards. And not only is Angel here at the Winter Festival, she was given a very important role, the herald of the entire Winter Festival. And that's a big job. So it kind of got me thinking a lot about how she got to this point. How did she go from a white Pegasus that doesn't really have much story or color, that likes to make an appearance, right? I mean, look at her quote. Angel is coming, make way! How did she go from that to this, right? Her wings are a completely different shape. Her color is completely different, as well as a little bit darker. And don't get confused as to the difference in color between her appearance in Herd Starlight and this. It is the same teal, it's just a lot darker because of the clouds and the scenery that are around her, so the shading is a lot darker on her. But regardless, she went through a lot of changes. So what could have happened in universe to cause these changes to happen? Well, I have my guesses, and I'm going to share those with you now. Looking at this design, I'm not 100% sure if she was born in Herd Starlight. And it's not unheard of for horses to switch herds. Unheard of. Pun not intended. But regardless, it's not anything new. It's not common, but it's not anything new, because a couple of horses have already done that. Funnily enough, a horse that was born in Herd Starlight, Nyx, switched herds to herd Valeric when she married Ice King. Another example of this would be Bookphalos. Now, since he's married to Miraldus, he is confirmed as a member of Herd Moonfairy. But this kind of design, as well as the layout, doesn't make me think fairy horse, you know? So my guess for him was that he was born in Herd Mustang, and then when he married to Miraldus, switched to Herd Moonfairy. Angel, probably the same pattern, but I can't be sure, because there are a lot of Pegasi in Herd Starlight, as well as Windwalkers. So she may have just been born in Herd Starlight without much color, or she was born as a member of Herd Aristos, which is comprised of a lot of Pegasi, magical or otherwise, and Angel would actually be a pretty logical fit for it. So whether she was born in Herd Starlight or Herd Aristos, beyond the point. She must have started off in this series not as much of an adult as much as she was an adolescent. So she was at full-grown size, but she wasn't really an adult horse age-wise, right? She must have been still growing, must have been still trying to figure out the kind of horse that she wanted to be. Because at this point, she's young, she's making herself the center of attention, she's making appearances. That's the kind of horse that she kind of is in her pastime. But my guess is that, unlike the other horses around her, she wasn't really hanging out with a lot of other horses. She wasn't in small groups. She wasn't part of herd activities a lot. And she didn't have a magical friend or an animal companion to kind of explore the world with her. So she was probably on her own most of the time. And she starts to kind of second guess where she is now and starts to question kind of who she wants to be. And that is when things change, when she gets a little bit older, because she meets another Pegasus that helps guide her to the path that she kind of wants to discover. And that horse, my guess, would be Daybreak. Now, I'm sure you can see why I would assume it would be Daybreak, because their appearances are actually very, very similar. Daybreak is yet another white Pegasus, but he has like a rainbow shine around his wings. That's kind of like his power. He's like illuminating rainbow light, aurora-like light around him. And he is a very important status, as he is married to the founder of Herd Starlight, Starlight herself. So it is a huge honor for Angel to be meeting a Pegasus like this. And noticing the state that she's kind of in at the moment, he decides to, quite literally, take her under his wing. And she agrees to do so. From here, she either grows more with the herd that she was born into, or this is the time where she makes the transition from Herd Aristos to Herd Starlight, as she tries to make a change to figure out what she would be the most happy with. Because if she's not happy with the herd that she was born into, she of course has the choice to switch herds and discover a different path that might suit her better. Daybreak was her guide to that, either by switching herds to find a better path, or to kind of grow more as a herd member of Herd Starlight and kind of become a better horse in the herd that she wanted to be. And later on, it definitely pays off. Even though she's not always around other horses or other magical friends, she is making herself a part of a lot more activities that horses tend to do together. She's getting closer with friends. She's flying more with friends. She's becoming a part of kind of the society, the curious society that Herd Starlight tends to be. And she falls in love with it. She falls in love with her curiosity. She falls in love with her discoveries. She's loving the adventures that she's going on with her friends that she's flying around with. This time of self-discovery kind of makes her vision and her appearance less clouded. So she goes from a cloudy kind of colored horse and slowly turns into a beautiful teal horse with wings that have the colors of the herd that she loves to be a part of so much. At this point, Daybreak's role for Angel is finished. However, he is always there for her when he does need her. He's never out of reach. So Angel continues to be kind of a mix of who she is throughout her journey. Both the curious Pegasus going on adventures, socializing with other curious members of the herd, as well as still making those beautiful appearances. Angel is here, make way. Although she is kind of doing that less as I am here, give me attention, and more as I'm here, let's go on an adventure. And she kind of continues to grow from there. Her progress, as well as her transformation, impresses not only the higher-ups of Herd Starlight, but also the higher-ups of other herds, so much to the point that they consider her qualified to take on such an important role later when she becomes an adult, the herald of the Winter Festival. A job that she doesn't take for granted and upholds and does to the best of her ability. Happily ever after. That is all that I'm really able to kind of guess about Angel, but I wanted you guys to also tell me your guesses down below to kind of see what you thought of, one, the story, and two, do you think I kind of missed any elements? Because not only am I taking in the facts about Angel, I'm taking in the facts of the other horses that would kind of be related to her. So even though she doesn't really have much of a family that I could talk about, I could talk about kind of her circumstances. So definitely leave your comments down below about what you thought of the story, and if you think I missed anything, or if you have any other guesses about her. And I also want you to comment which horse you want me to talk about next, because this was really fun to do. I love sitting here and talking to you guys and kind of making my own guesses and theorizing about these characters that kind of have a hidden story, you know what I mean? Because there's not much to say about a lot of them. They're just given an appearance and a title. For the later cards, they're given a title. But as for right now, that's all I have to say. So until our next trail ride together, bye.